Thank you for taking the time to view this video that highlights the enhancements made to NewWay's WISE data-driven instructional platform, where its iPad apps now provide interactive data views of both state and local assessment data. I'm Arthur Arlino, former educator and founder of NewWay Technologies. What you're about to see is a live unedited recording with real data taken from a school district. The names of students and teachers were changed to protect their confidentiality. Teachers can go back and look at the classes they taught the previous school year. This would be 2014-15. Or teachers can go forward and working with their current classes. This is the 2015-16 school year ending in June. Working with their current classes, going back and looking at data that can help them to improve and guide instruction. Let's first look at what we call the rear view. Let's pick a section, section 2. There are 26 students in the class. 14 took the grade 7 assessment in 2015. These are the students in my class that I taught the previous school year, or I should say this teacher taught the previous school year, and be able to hover over their names and see their scale scores and performance levels. As I click on a student's name, it will populate the results, domain, clusters, and standards based upon the state assessment. I can pick any one of these standards, and it will populate the description here of that standard. And I should mention anything completely blue, the student got 100% correct. Completely black, they didn't get any of the questions right. And then obviously if there are multiple questions, a percent of those questions they got right and wrong. I can also look at that student side by side. So here is the results for that student in math. Scale score 309, performance level of 2, in the fall grade equivalent of 6.7, and the spring 7.8. For ELA, that student had a scale score of 259 and a performance level of 1, so she's weaker in ELA than math. In the fall had a grade point equivalent of 10.5, and in the spring a grade equivalent of 8. So this particular student actually declined from one level to the next. I can also look at that class and go back and look at previous years for that group of students. This teacher taught the students in 7th grade this year. Here's how they performed according to this chart in grade 5th as well as grade 6. So obviously in grade 6 they performed better. I can look at any one of those students. Or I should look at, this is the class overall, I should say, as a group. And if I want to look at individual students in that class, I can do that as well. So if I pick the same student I picked before, that's how that student performed. I should mention we did not load the data for 2014 for STAR. That still could be done. Let's go forward now. This happens to be the 15-16 school year, the current school year. These are the classes that this teacher is teaching. If I pick section 3, there are 24 students. I have 14 students that took the grade 6 assessment. So just to be clear, I'm teaching the students, or this teacher is teaching the students in grade 7. And I want to see how they performed in grade 6 to help me guide instruction moving forward. I can look at any one of the students in the class that I'm currently teaching, see how they performed at the previous grade level. If I can pick a student, the domains, clusters, and standards will populate. And I can actually view those students side by side as well. So this particular student had a scale score of 318, performance level of 3, so performed better in 6th grade than she did in 7th. At the beginning of the school year, the fall grade equivalent according to STAR was 6.1, and the spring was 7.9. So this student grew. There was growth for that student. For ELA, she's weaker. She's at level 2. And I can see that she had, from the fall, a grade equivalent of 8.8, but from the spring dropped to a 6.5. Thank you for watching this video. NewWay's platforms offer interactive data views of performance data on any device, like an iPad or desktop, at multiple levels for individual students and classroom teachers to building principals and district administrators. For a more in-depth overview of NewWay's platforms and apps, please see the training video on our website.